Definitely. I also think like being exposed to cold weather, it builds some kind of immunity and also strength. Not obviously a strength in squatting or deadlift or anything like that, but it builds a strong immune system. I felt that in Denmark as well. Like after coming back from Denmark, I never felt sick. I was always, you have your body needs to be ready for the cold because you're facing what, like negative 10 degrees for a couple of months or something like that. So it
Yeah,
is
it
really
is. Yeah.
cold. You have snowstorms and things like that. So I think the body adapts to be strong outside in the wild. Um, so I think it's pretty important that you guys are training in the cold. Obviously, the gym, I'm guessing that is warm, but you still, you grew up as a kid being exposed to the earth elements, to the extreme ones, at least in cold wise. And that definitely, I'm pretty sure that you can feel that in your immunity system for sure.
Yeah, of course, but it also depends on the, how aware you are as a person about this because, yeah, we have
Yeah,
cold seasons, but majority of people are, just wear really warm clothes, going in the
yeah,
car all the time, sitting
not
in
going
a warm
out.
office, yeah, so not
Yeah,
going out, not exposed for the cold. So yeah, they don't have as a strong
yeah, yeah.
immunity system. But for us, let's say from my perspective, yeah, I am really happy that we have season. So during the winter, I am, going put my body for the cold exposure as often
Mm,
as I can. So even after every training, I just just like I finish the training, I am coming out, going to the snow, just lay down on the snow, doing some snow angels and
mm,
yeah, and cool down after the training like this.
yeah,
And also every morning I have a kind of ice bath just next to my house. So in the winter it's really easy because the water is always cool, so you can
cold and yeah,
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 cold and
yeah.
it's cold. Yeah, start the day just making a dip, so you don't need a coffee.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They actually say um, that it's better to use cold exposure than having coffee because at the end you build up resistance to caffeine. So there is a recent study where the use of caffeine doesn't seem to affect on performance as long as you use caffeine every day. So if you use caffeine every day, when you use again coffee or caffeine for training or for competing, you don't get any effect because your body built up. So what they recommend is to reduce caffeine intake for the 4 or 5 days before competition, and then take caffeine. Then you get I think Andrew Huberman posted a few weeks ago about it, which is I think is pretty
Mhm.
interesting, and he was mentioning the use of caffeine and the use of cold exposure, either ice bath or just a cold shower or just
Mhm.
expose yourself to the cold temperature. That's already enough for you to build up resilience and also all the benefits that you get from cold exposure. And in Poland, you don't need to spend 10,000 euros for a cold plunge. You just need to go outside, just put a bucket with water, and that's
Not
simple.
all the time, yeah, no,
Yeah,
not all the time, because right
yeah,
now in summer, yeah, we need to, just think about this. So right
yeah,
now, I need to be, satisfied about the cold showers. But yeah, it is something. If let's say if you're an athlete and you compete with guys who have pretty similar, let's say, performance level than you are just looking for the small pieces that might help
exactly.
you, be
Yeah,
better. And the thing you said about the caffeine is really interesting, but because yeah,
yeah.
I agree with that. That we, I believe in sport, if you're a competitive athlete, we are, I think, most of us are addicted to caffeine, and we
Yeah.
almost forgot that we are using this on daily basis in
Mm.
really high intake. So this is a good thing to point this and just just think about it if we are not using this too much, and if we should take some breaks from this
Mm.
to have better exposure, let's say, for the in the competitions time.
Yeah, I think I will. I
Good
will
point.
probably. I will probably try it. Obviously, maybe don't test it for the games, but you can test it. Like a couple of weeks before, and see how you feel to reduce a few days caffeine intake, and then add again a little bit more. I think it's normally not a good idea to test things on competitions, especially the competition, which is the games. I'll send you the podcast from Andrew Huberman where he talks about it. I think he's a pretty reliable
Cool.
guy
Okay.
to do
Yeah, I
this.
know him. I
Yeah,
listen to his podcast, and
yeah.
he's
I
really
think
smart guy.
I think it's great. Like the tips that he does, as you mentioned, you guys are performing at a high level. That's just like every second counts, and you can see, a lot of athletes that qualified in the last 11th position. It was for 2 reps. It was for 5 seconds. It was for like 2 kilos. Those small details are what make an athlete to, make the podium, be the first, be the fourth instead of the third. So all of those little things, I think CrossFit is a little bit, I think it's getting there, but it's still not as professional as other sports in that way. Obviously, because there is a track record of just 10 years compared with, 100 years in football or basketball or whatever, where more industries are also chipping in and like adding more, techniques for recovery, equipment for recovery, nutrition hacks, and these kind of things. But I think in CrossFit, it's just like pretty much any Olympic sport. It's just for a few seconds that you make it or not.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah. So are you making any difference now? I think you mentioned you were reducing the volume now because the games are in 10 days?
What we have right now, 20. Yeah, 10 days, 11 days until they start. And we start individuals compete on 4th. So we have 2 weeks till the competition start, but we did in the trainings really big volumes, really heavy things. So everything was taxing our nervous systems, my nervous system a lot. So on last weeks, I felt, really gassed, really tired after every training session. So on my day off, which is on Mondays, I just
Mondays, really?
was, yeah,
Is
I'm
that,
not training on Mondays.
but you train on Sunday as well? I guess it's to
Yeah,
fit into the work schedule and everything.
this is the one reason, and the second reason is because I have job and a
Yeah,
lot of things around my business I can do on Monday, on Sunday.
exactly. Yeah, and then
Don't
you
work.
rest.
So
Yeah,
mainly because of that. But on Mondays, on last weeks, on these rest days, I felt really not productive at all. All I
yeah,
wanted, just sleep and eat and recover. Just don't think about things that I just need
yeah,
to
yeah,
do.
yeah.
It's really stressful for the body the
Yeah.
last weeks. So right now we are focusing just on having my body healthy, and we are just on the last way to sharpen this
Yeah. So you did
performance.
after semifinals, I guess you did a week maybe of rest, 1 week or 2 weeks,
Yeah,
something like that, and then you started the high volume season until what, 2 weeks ago or something like that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually up to just this week, because
Okay.
this week I see the reduce of the volume but not the intensity.
Mm.
And next week will be just traveling and things like that. So the training will be also much less
Okay.
volume.
Yeah. So what are you doing the last week before the game? So from Monday, from Monday to Wednesday, are you resting completely? I'm guessing no. Are you doing like small workouts or what is that you are planning to do?
I rely on my coach, so I will do whatever he will ask me to do. This is my first season, let's say, when I'm competing since they opened to the games. Uh, Having coach, so I trust him. So whatever he will put me, I will do this. But having, let's say, from the past, from before the semifinals, the last week is just cool things, just to have your body move, not get super extremely tired
Yeah.
after the workout. Just moving around and feeling good,
Okay.
recovering.
So it's funny this relation that you have with your coach because your coach is in US, right? So
Yeah,
it's everything online, and also I guess that you have like a lot of cultural difference. He probably only coaches games athletes from US and also you, as far as I know.
Uh, I know that his team, the underdogs, are coaching also guys from Australia
Ah, okay, okay,
who made the games and the team from Asia.
ah,
So
okay,
yeah, they have more
okay,
athletes on this level from other countries, not only
yeah,
from United States.
yeah. So how is the relation with him? Do you have like weekly calls, daily calls, text? I guess texting a lot.
What is funny, not, no, we we chat uh, mostly by texting
Hmm,
messages from time to time, maybe on the not even a weekly basis, just few
okay.
times in the month. So it's not quite often. We talk to each other on call uh, since we started the cooperation maybe 3 times. So
Okay.
it's 3 times in a 9 months. So it's also not the big volume. Uh, I don't know. Maybe because of that, I am quite like an athlete. I'm easy to coach
Hmm.
because if I have the plan, I just stick to it. I do the work. I put my scores, to the app when we are sending when Justin sending me the trainings. So it's quite,
Yeah.
smooth work, smooth process.
Yeah.
So
That's
there is,
pretty. That's
I
pretty
don't
cool.
have, yeah, I don't have, a lot of questions.
Hmm.
Because why? I'm doing this
Yeah.
from 10 years
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
already.
Yeah. True.
So I pretty know everything.
True.
So I just, need the structure and, the path, the
Yeah.
plan that I need to follow. And from time to time, we can just, Justin just drop you a message on how the body feels, how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we adjust.
I guess you are a more mature athlete than somebody that maybe is completely new into the sport and just started. So you don't have that many questions, or you don't need him to be constantly checking on you or you checking on him or whatever. Do you share your results with somebody so you have a benchmark? I always found really amazing athletes that train by themselves, because every single regular person like me that trains in the gym whenever, um, finds super challenging to train alone and not having somebody to push. And I know a few guys like you train by yourself, you push yourself alone, you do those terrible workouts with 100 thrusters and 100 burpees or whatever it is by yourself, and you still need to push yourself. And I always thought, well, if you have some kind of benchmark where okay, these athletes made, I don't know, 20 reps or whatever it is, or then you have something to say, okay,
Hmm.
I need to do this.
No, no, I don't have guys who I can compare with. I just, have my own training schedule from Justin, and I'm doing this, share the scores with him, and that's all. I don't have, any other guy who I can compare with. From time to time, I have one guy who is quite fit
Mm,
in my city. He came into my gym, and we train together from time to time, but it's not the same. But I don't think for myself, for me, it would be much better to have, let's say, one or two guys on similar level on training on daily basis, because we would race every day for every
okay,
workout,
true.
probably. And I don't think this is, good if you have opportunity to compete from time to time, and you focus on the between these periods, you have, time for training, focusing on, improving things, not just racing against the score, because CrossFit workouts are good for the testing but not for the training.
I know what you mean.
So
Yeah.
if you're an athlete who goal is to compete on the competition, like semifinals of the games, you just need to prepare the best as you can. So even when I'm training, I'm not pushing myself to the limits. I am just trying to take notes in my head about the feeling I have right now during this workout, where if should I, go a little bit faster or a little bit slower to just get better score, what should I do to be better and things like that. And I analyze on my own after the training what can be improved, the pacing, the strategy to be better. So the pushing, it's, let's say, for what I like to say almost all the time, it's around 80%, 80-90% is a finding this balance to be able, to do the work, not rest a lot, and then so you would be able to excel on the competition floor. And maybe because of that, I am not the super guy in the training. Everyone can beat me in the training, so I don't care. I don't give a fuck, because all that matters in the CrossFit, if you want to be competitive athlete, is what you show on the main stage when this competition day, not on the training.
Yeah.
So maybe because of that, I like the idea that I don't have training camp when I compare with my scores to the other guys, because all I would think about this, that I would feel sad that I am always last or in the
Yeah.
middle of the pack. But at the end, when I go into the competition, this switch.
Yeah.
So it's good for me.
Yeah, that's good. I think that, as you say, the high intensity is good, but in moderation. And this is something that probably, the old school CrossFitters got into our mind, that it was always 3 to 1 go until you die. And this works maybe if
This is
you.
how I started.
Yeah, exactly. I think we all started with just doing only workouts until we pass out. And I think as a competitor as you are, you need to moderate that. Otherwise, your system is not going to tolerate that high volume with high intensity all the time. So yeah, that's pretty
Yes.
cool. So are you focusing on something now? Like, are you trying to improve? I guess that you've been working on your weaknesses, if you have any, on the past. But is there anything specific that you are focusing during these last days or weeks, maybe?
I know this is my schedule is the simple periodization of the strange elements and practice odd objects, lifting and practicing workouts based on previous year's CrossFit Games events. So mostly work like that. So not let's say targeting my weaknesses anymore, just getting used to the things that might happen on the competition day.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So I'm guessing that are your strength weightlifting and a strength, like powerlifting strength? I think you mentioned before that the powerlifting strength is not your main strength, right? Just because of the body shape and everything. So is weightlifting definitely your strength, or you have something else that is even better?
You are asking about my strange, about my home runs
Yeah,
for the,
exactly. Yeah, your home runs.
competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything what should be lift from ground to overhead should be good for me,
Okay. That's
no matter the weight and the reps. So when I'm standing in one place and lifting, it should be cool. And I feel pretty confident about the upside down position and the
okay.
shoulder endurance. So if we should do anything on our hands for the high reps, high volume, I feel good at this. Even if I'm not the lightest guy, because I weigh
Yeah.
over 100 kilograms, I feel good on the upside down position. So yeah, and
And gymnastics,
also
you're
the
also pretty good with gymnastics, no?
yeah, I like gymnastics. So maybe not the crazy high
Mm,
volume of easy stuff, but the most weird stuff in, let's say, short skill event,
hmm.
it is good for me,
Okay.
because I maybe because of since young kid I was always playing on the trees
Mm,
and things like that. So when I started CrossFit, it was really easy to me to do everything almost, just handstand walking, muscle ups,
mm.
because my body was used to movements like that. So yeah, I like skill testing. So I think it should be fine for me. So even actually, I feel really more well-rounded athlete right now on this season than in previous
Okay.
seasons. So it will be really good competition
Yeah, I mean,
at the same
I
time
think
of
it's the best
to
time.
start this.
It's definitely the best time to be a more well-rounded athlete now because the games have a lot of different elements, objects, and workouts that you don't see on quarterfinals or semifinals. Just because there's, the place where it's taking place, it can be anything. Is there anything that you are afraid, like swimming with sharks or something like that, or yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
no, no,
maybe not in
no. I
Madison,
just
but
Uh, no. I'm not afraid of this because, yeah, this is something that the competition time, whatever we will do on this, and for me, it's even better than we can be surprised by something. There is, unknown and unknowable uh, possibility in CrossFit competitions. So for me, it's good because I like this feeling, and this is why I trained CrossFit from on the high level from many years because I just love competing. I just this make me feel really good. The adrenaline, the spectators, the emotions that we as an athlete have or create on the competition day. This is something what you just cannot buy
yeah, true.
for the money. You just need to work for this and just then you can enjoy this. So this is something different, and because of I like this so much, this
Mm,
keeps me in the high regime of training, recovery stuff. Because if you are CrossFit athlete and you're willing to go to the games, this is not only about the training.
true.
There's a lot of other things you need to think about, and it's the sum of right choices,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
full-time job.
It is definitely. I think CrossFit is not like basketball or football that they train a couple of hours and that's it. I think CrossFit is definitely a full-time job, and I think the mindset it's pretty important and it's great that you feel like that. I think some people might feel, a little bit afraid under the lights. So I think it's really important. You see athletes that they are great at training, but then they're pretty bad at competing, and the other way around is not the normal.
Mhm.
So I think that's like I think it makes a big difference having that mindset of under the lights. I'm growing. I'm even bigger than that. That's pretty. That's great to hear. Do you have any goals for the games? Anything that you say I want to do
Yeah,
this at least?
um no, I just want to show the best performance I can right now because at the end I have no idea how other guys will perform. Yeah, we on the competition floor it looks like we are racing each other, but it's mainly every of us is doing his own thing, his own strategy, his own pacing, and we just want to do the best possible score we can get, and maybe just by the finish reps of each workout we can race each other to get the better results just for a few seconds. But the only thing you can control is your own performance on the game day. So what I want to do to achieve at the games, just to be proud of myself that I did everything that I was capable of, and I show this on the competition, floor. No mistake, just the best possible performance.
Yeah, I mean, doing no
And the
mistakes.
numbers on the leaderboard, I don't care.
Okay, okay, that's cool. I think that's again that's a good mentality for this is your second times at the games, right? But I think
Yes.
this is the one that goes back to the old way of qualifying to the games that it was. I think it is more difficult than well, I don't know. I mean, winning the strength in depth is also really difficult, but I think that was the year that a lot of changes were happening in CrossFit, so you never really know. But we are going back to kind of the old, the regionals, and then going just a few people go to the game. So and I'm pretty sure you are a more mature athlete as well. Um, so yeah, I agree with you that just trying to do your best for the first year. Um, appearing to the games after a few years that you went last time. That's a great mentality. Are you having any kind of recovery protocol during the games? Because maybe not now anymore, but the games used to be pretty cruel for the athletes with super high volume. I think now the sport has changed and you guys train even harder than the actual games. But Dave Castro is coming back responsible for the game, so I could expect a little bit, harder workout or harder games maybe. Are you planning to do any kind of recovery strategy or between days? What are you planning to do?
Well, for sure, I'm not planning to do anything crazy, anything different
Mm,
than I have right now in my training, because this is what is training for, to practice some things, and you got the answer if this work for you or not. So I have some, let's say, protocols already, what I'm doing, practicing on daily basis, and I know they are good for me. So yeah, I have something in relation to cold exposure and to the cool downs, to the food intake supplements that I will be using before, between, during this time. This is already scheduled how this will look like on the game day. And yeah, I think about this a lot, because this is also
mm,
uh, thing that might, help you or might crush you.
true.
The worst thing you can do, what I can do, is to, start to try something
Exactly.
different. What my body is not used to this, so it got get
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So right now, after every session, I take cold shower for the long time. So I know that this will help me when we will finish the workout in some heat. I will drop into ice bath. So
Hmm.
I know that my body is used to this feeling, and this will improve my recovery and not get the stress
Yeah.
high. So
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah.
What are you doing with food? Are you taking any special food with you, or you're just relying on whatever you find in US?
I don't take food with myself, because we fly
Yeah.
from Europe. Flight to the States is quite long. We don't can take a really big luggage, so we will rely on the food from States. But I think it's similar food than ours,
Yeah.
so we will find something in local shops, and we will prepare our food on our
Yeah.
own. So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
always complicated. I know some athletes that they take, you know, that special food or meal that they always have at home and they want to take it there and they don't want to risk it and use something else.
Mm.
I think it depends a lot on the athletes. If you are kind of an easygoing with food, then you find whatever.
Yeah, but also I think this is all about the relation you have to the food. So if you know that, if you're scary that you will eat other food and this will affect your performance, it will look like this. It will affect your performance, but maybe not because of this food is different, but because of your what you have in your head, that you
Mm.
just what you think is probably most likely you will have. So I have really good relationship with the food all the time. So I know that even if I will I will eat American food, but it will, let's say, be the same what I'm eating right now, just preparing to the games, more or less the same. It will be okay for me. I will be fine, and I will be able to to compete.
Yeah, cool. Are you currently?
I'm not stressed out about this.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good. Are you currently training anybody, like the typical young athlete that you see having some potential, or just regular people?
I Me as a
Yeah.
coach, yeah, I train some guys, but mostly the just people who recreationally, want to do stuff,
Mm.
train, take care, train for healthy. And yeah, I reduce a volume of my training that I coach in my gym a lot because of training to the games. Like we said, this is the full-time job.
Yeah.
So if you want to be able to go to the games, you must be aware that you need to work much less because it's the accumulation of the stress.
Yeah.
So I coach 1 up to 3 hours per day. On Sundays, mostly it's 1, 2 hours per day. But for the athletes, yeah, I have my training program that I'm coaching online
Hmm.
because also the city where I live is pretty small, and I have some athletes that compete in local competitions. We play with this fitness. I help them, to get the best shape that they can for the CrossFit, and I also share this program online. Whatever who wants to,
Hmm.
train under my, programming, he is feel free to join. It's in English, so it's accessible for
Okay, that's
everyone.
pretty cool. It's a strong for life.
Yeah, and we have strong for life. This is uh, the only, let's say, way currently to cooperate with me because I don't train other people personally because I don't have time for this.
Mm. Yeah. So what will you? I'm guessing that a lot of people come to you and ask you the typical thing. What I can do to go to the games. Typical 20 years old guy that 21 or 2 years is pretty strong, is doing okay in regional competitions, and they see you and they think I'm almost there. Like I think a lot of young people, they always see themselves as I'm almost as good as the games
Mhm.
athletes. What would you recommend them, or if you already recommend something to them?
Well, it's a really, big topic because it all depends that what is the current level because if they think that they are close, it doesn't even equal that they are
Mm.
close. So if it based on the experience that they have, how much years in the training they are, but mostly the way is almost the same. Just focusing on mastering every skill because CrossFit is the sport based on movement, on different types of movements. In every movement, you need to be good at, but good at it means not only strong in this pattern in this movement, but on also efficient. So building the efficiency is a matter of the skill, practice, technique. So it's a lot, and this is because of this. CrossFit training takes a lot of time,
Yeah.
much higher volume than other sports. If you want to go to the CrossFit Games and compete with the only be inside the 40 guys from around the world. So yeah, I would suggest to mastering every skill, every movement, just to be the best you can, finding the best technique to work on this. After that, just look on the strange stats that you need to have to be able to compete on the level you want. Just simply taking the top 10 from the level you want to compete of the strange stats of these guys, and just work for these numbers. You just need to have them. If you want to be the best in the sport, if you want to qualify, you just need to be strong enough to be able to to compete against them. Because at the end, strength is the skill that you build. It takes time
Mm.
to
Yeah.
build strength. Endurance as well, but endurance you can improve your engine in a shorter
Yeah.
amount of time. But in case of strength, you just if you can't lift this in the training, if you don't have the capacity, you won't have
Yeah.
this at all in the competition. And at the end, in this sport, you place good spots if you have less weak
Hmm.
points. in your
Yeah.
performance. So this is about the
Yeah. Yeah.
CrossFit. You just cannot be excellent in one thing and suck at everything else. You just need to be good at everything, and then you will be able to compete on this high levels. And one more thing that I would suggest to the guy who think he's able to compete in the games is to practice competing, because I know the guys who just only training, focusing on the training, compare yourself with other guys with training scores and not expose themselves on the competitions. So you have different equipments, different environments, judges, other things that you are not in control with. So this is also the good experience, because I have some years of training and competing already. I competed more than 60 times, so I think it's a lot. So I got this experience. So for me, I learned how to get comfortable on the competition floor, how to like this, and I just realized that this is the most important test in your, let's say, a period of the preparation, no matter if you are going to the games or local competition. So the time you have from the decision that you want to go and then you compete, this is the time to prepare the best you can and focus on the training, not on the beating scores or
Hmm.
beating other guys. You will beat other guys on the competition floor. So just I would suggest to try this routine, just to set up some goals. Let's say some local competition. You know what time you have to prepare, and then just make a plan with your coach, and then work your ass off and try to be the best on the competition
Hmm.
floor, and just have some fun on this competition floor. Just don't freak out, don't stress out. If you even if you will take last place on the competition, you will just
Yeah.
learn some new things. You won't be a
True.
loser.
True. True.
You are a loser if
If you don't try.
if you pull out from the competition, if you don't try, because you, I don't know,
Yeah.
scare off. Because if you have injury, it's something different. But if you just scared to compete against other guys, if you take a look on the leaderboard and that, oh, I know he's going, he is better, he's better, but okay, I
Mhm.
don't go because I don't win. Then you're
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
pussy.
exactly. It's a skill that you need to learn and master to compete against people. Not only against yourself in the gym, you need to be good at being the last. You could be the last and still doing pretty good overall, but you need to have that feeling of, okay, I suck at this, I did wrong, and then I need to recover and get back to doing my best. And I think we've seen many athletes. I think Paul Bernard is an example of being almost the last one the first day, and even the second day being on the 20th, and then he plays podium. So that is a mentality that you need to learn and master to be able to recover from doing bad, or the other way around. If you're doing really good the first 2 days, don't think you already win. You still need to keep doing to not lose.
Hmm.
So it's definitely something to learn. What sport you were doing
Yeah.
before CrossFit? Because you started when? Yeah.
Sport. I started CrossFit almost exactly 10 years ago in 2013. So before that, I did nothing related to, let's say, professional training. All I was doing, I helped my parents on the farm, because since young kid, as far as I remember, since 8 years old, I started to help my parents, because they are farmers and mostly they have
Okay.
cows, so they produce the milk. So everything around this, I didn't milk the cows because what is funny, I hate milk, so I barely drink the milk. And we had a lot of milk in our house. So I was helping around, take care of these animals, so providing food and clean after them. So it was, a lot of physical work.
Okay.
So I'm just, throwing some stuff, carrying the stuff. So I always laughing that it was strongman training, and maybe because of that I was in the group of kids in my age. I was above the
Mm.
average in case of
Yeah.
performing on the physical education classes. So my teachers always took me to the local
Hmm.
competition when we just be tested on the running, jumping, throwing. more than Olympic style events. So it was my, let's say, sport
Okay.
experience. That not training,
Just
just
farming.
working after school, and then some testing. Yeah, just farming, just simple farming. And after I left my parents' house, I started to training bodybuilding.
Okay.
So I gained a lot of mass. It was almost 2 years of training like this, and I was so heavy that I will have problems with walking, because when I was walking, my shins just burn because I was so heavy. It was no chance that I could run for the bus,
Really?
because my daily job, it was in the office. So yeah, so I was just sitting on my ass on my desk, and they just go to the training, eat food. So I will look, from perspective right now, when I look back, I look really stupid, because this big foods, just eating
Yeah.
rice, chicken, creatine, and training, and I was bigger and bigger. It was also farming, but my body farming. So after 2 years of such training, I dislike this, because what would be the next level? Okay, maybe going to the competition in bodybuilding, but
Yeah. It's not the same.
it's what the sense of
Yeah.
competing. It's not a competition. It's a
Yeah,
beauty
exactly.
contest. When you are going to the stage, you show off, and some other guys, like we right now, we can just sit and say, oh, this one
Yeah.
looks the best. Well, for me, this one, okay,
True.
made some points. It's a subjective choosing, pick up the winners. And when I was training the bodybuilding on my last weeks, because I did it with my friend, and he showed me the YouTube of from the CrossFit Games, and I saw this, watched this, and damn,
It's
it's
fun.
good. I
Yeah.
want to try this workout. Yeah, it's fun, and it's fun. And yeah, and tried the first workout. I was dying for 1 hour, and I love this. And and like we previously mentioned, and I was doing only CrossFit workouts all the time for about 1 year, and just learning the skills. Maybe not learning, just practicing. Oh, they do this in CrossFit. Okay, I need to try.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do this. I am a quick learner, so it's okay. But what I like in CrossFit the most, that proving that you are good at it, is your score that can be
Mm.
measurable. So you have a group of people, you just do the task, and you know what is your place in this order. And the other thing, what is cool in CrossFit, that it's not always the same kind of test, because if you are training for the same kind of test, it's a sports
Mhm.
specialization, and if you don't start as a young kid, you probably won't achieve
True.
big goals in this kind of training sport. Maybe the difference is in ultra sports, when you're running for, let's say, 1 week, and it's not a matter of your physique,
It's on
only
your
on
head.
your
Yeah.
head, but you make some really, yeah. But I
Yeah.
don't
I
like
mean,
this
me
kind of
neither.
sport, because you are doing big
Exactly.
damage
I
for
think it's
your
just
body.
damaging so much. It's just it's just rewarding the people that is able to put up with pain. No matter your, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and at the end, you have devastated
Exactly.
body, and you can just be happy that you achieve the goal, but your
Yeah.
body, will feel this for a long time. I know, because at one time in 2020, or I did one challenge. I rode the bike across the Poland. It took me 1 week. I started in the north, finished in the past. It was around 200 kilometers per day on the road bike. And at the end of every trip, I stopped in a CrossFit gym, and I did 30 snatches
Really.
on 100 and 30 strict muscle ups. So the combination of grace
Okay.
and muscle ups.
With 100 kilos.
And every day the same workout at the end
Yeah.
with the 100 kilos. And what is funny, the best score I get on sixth
Really.
day of doing this. Every day the same.
But
Yeah.
what do you think you got the best result? Probably because you were fed up of the
What?
bike, so you were biking really slow, and then you went there with more energy. Or
We didn't bike. We didn't bike slow. We our average pace was around 30 kilometers per hour. because I have some guys who ride with me
Mm,
and
okay.
they ride pretty fast, so I need to, keep up with them. And after what I want to say that after this challenge, I have so
Yeah.
sore legs, Achilles pain for
Mm,
3 months. 3 months. 3 months training only upper body because my lower body was destroyed. So yeah, this was a perfect example of the ultra training that I just know that I
yeah.
don't want to do because it's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
hurtful.
I think is great to say it in some way for proving yourself that you are able to do something crazy. And I think a lot of people do this because they just want to do something crazy. And I still find unbelievable they like those people that do a marathon every day for a month or for a week or whatever. Like I don't even know how can they do that, but it's just something in their mind that allow them to push through the pain, no matter the pain, and
Yeah,
they keep doing it because they don't run fast, they don't have crazy numbers, they just have a stupid amount of volume that anybody will quit. Most of the
yeah,
people will quit, including me. I will quit definitely doing 2 marathons in a week.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's crazy. My running volume in a week is, around
yeah,
15 kilometers, 10, 15. So shit.
yeah.
Marathon
That will
every
be
day. Every month it
yeah.
will be crazy. So yeah, but the main rule I have in my head in case of training, if you think about training, is just respecting your body. If just respect every feeling you have, every pain you have, just think about this. Why does this happen? Should you do something with that? You should plan recovery from that. So yeah, CrossFit it's a really affecting sport if you do a
Hmm.
lot of volume, but we practice every
Hmm.
sport a little bit. Not doing like you said on the marathons, we don't run every day. If you're running every day, you're
Hmm.
taxing your legs a lot because it's always moving. Then let's say small jumping, so your foot, your knees, your ankles, your hips, everything is exposed to the damage if you don't recover well. In the CrossFit, this is balance from the lifting, running, swimming, gymnastics, so it's easier for our body to,
Yeah.
to manage this if you have smart training, not only pushing to the limits, intense workouts, but also the practice pieces, the building pieces. It's also really, let's say, good to take care. But we know that it closes to the competition, and the damage become bigger, but because of that, after the competition, you should be smart and you should take some
Hmm.
days off. And you should focus on the proper fooding,
Hmm.
food fueling your body just to have this recover as fast as you can. Because at the end, the sport is cool, sport is fun, but your body is
The
your,
only
let's say,
yeah.
bullet, your car that you have only one for your life, and you need to drive this for as long as possible, but maybe not as
As
long
fast as
as
every day. Yeah.
extremely can. So, but yeah, 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 exactly. You just have in mind that you have some other years of your life that you just want to be, physically
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. I
useful.
think I think what Fronin saying. I'm pretty sure it's something pretty common. Or but Fronin was always saying like in training, listen to your body. In competition, just tell him to shut up and go. Um, but that
Exactly.
it
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah. When I was learning CrossFit,
mm,
yeah. Hmm.
cool. Yeah, but
Agree.
yeah, I don't want to take more of your time, Bron. I think it's been pretty cool. Always great talking to you and knowing. I really like the mentality and the way that you face training and competition. I think it goes along about it goes pretty along as what Go Primal always talk about training, performance, competing, recovery. I think is great to hear that you also share that kind of mentality. Um, Looking forward to see you competing. It's gonna be it's gonna be fun. Let us know. Obviously, I'm pretty sure you have everything, but just let us know if you need anything else before you travel. And you're traveling 7 days, right, or in 6 days?
For my traveling, I'm traveling on 27th, so it's
Yeah,
7
yeah. So
days from now. Next Thursday, we fly to
okay,
the
let
Chicago.
us know if you need anything, so then we can send it whatever you need, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, nothing else from my
Okay,
side.
cool, thanks.
I think it's been a pleasure, and I can wait to see you competing. I've never missed a CrossFit Games. I've been there, I think 4 times. But when I wasn't there, I watch. It's like my Super Bowl. I watch it live. I watched it probably some workouts even a couple of times to see how the athletes were doing and the tricks that they were doing there. So it's my Super Bowl for sure. Cool.
Okay, cool. You will be live in
No,
Madison
no, no, not this
this
year. I
year?
haven't gone to Madison. I've been only to Carson um, many times, and
Okay.
Madison is something that I would like to go at some point. As I've been to the games, it's hard to justify at home another trip to the games. Um, just for fun, even if it can
Okay,
be
I
a little
understand.
bit for work,
I
but
know, I know.
it's more for fun than anything else. But I'd love to go. Cool.
Okay,
Yeah, but thanks a
cool.
lot, Bron. I don't want to wish good luck. I think you don't need good luck. You just need the good training that you're having, and perform at your best. I think.
Exactly. All I need, is the wish of staying
Yeah,
healthy, and that nothing
yeah,
wrong will happen. Just positive vibes
exactly.
about the training and the competition. This is the very top of the season. Let's just enjoy this. Let's do the best what we can. Let's show the best CrossFit, the best
Mm,
sport we can. Let's share this, positive vibes with the people who maybe will watch these games or us for the first time and will think about start training CrossFit. So let's create
yeah,
amazing
yeah. A, po-
spectacle, and
a
let's
positive
let's
mindset,
enjoy
I
this
think,
moment.
is everything. Um, you know, Pretty sure that everything will go well if you have a positive mindset.
Yeah, well, exactly. I heard really cool words from my friend that whatever you think,
So whatever you think,
this will happen. So if you whatever you think, you have right. So if you think it will go wrong on the games for you, you have right. And if you think you will compete well on the games, you also have right. So yeah, like you said, your mindset is this is the main
mm,
computer uh, of your body, of the how your body will feel and will perform. So just think positive, and positive things will happen, and positive people
yeah,
will come around you who will support you, in your
yeah,
journey.
100%,
So
100%.
yeah,
Cool, Bram.
like
But
that.
thanks a lot for everything. See you soon.
Thank you, and